Many global political experts predict that in the not-so-distant future, a secret meeting will be held between Trump, Putin and Xi. This summit would mirror the 18th century agreements between European powers who curved the world into spheres of influence. This meeting, it is believed, will redefine global spheres of influence and lead to the establishment of a new world order. In this video, we're going to explore just how likely such a powerful unified bloc could be. We'll also dig deep into why so many analysts believe these three leaders, Trump, Xi, and Putin, are the pivotal figures who could orchestrate such a monumental shift. Welcome to TW Global, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. For a long time, specifically since the end of World War II, global politics has largely operated under something scholars call the liberal international order. Think of it as a carefully constructed system, built on a set of interconnected principles and institutions, all designed to foster cooperation, prevent conflict, and help everyone prosper. At its heart, this liberal order champions a rules-based system. It emphasizes things like free trade and multilateralism, basically, countries working together. In this system, there is a network of international organizations like the United Nations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund (IMF), and the World Trade Organization (WTO) acting as forums for diplomacy, decision-making, and collective action. The United States has really been the main architect and even the protector of this order. They've used their economic and military strength to maintain stability, enforce global norms, and act as a leader, often through alliances like NATO. Now, this system isn't perfect, and it's certainly faced its share of criticism. But it's also undeniably overseen an unprecedented period of peace and economic growth for many parts of the world. But fast forward to 2025, and this once robust world order seems increasingly fragile. The rise of populist nationalism, intense competition between major global powers, and a surge in regional conflicts have led some analysts to suggest we're on the brink of a new global arrangement. And guess who they see shaping this potential new era? You guessed it. Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and Xi Jinping. So, the big question is, are these three figures actually laying the groundwork for a fundamentally different world order? One that might be more authoritarian, more focused on multiple power centers, and more transactional, meaning deals based on immediate benefit rather than shared values? Or are their individual visions too contradictory, too self-interested, to ever truly come together into a cohesive bloc? Let's unpack this. One key commonality between these three leaders is a shared skepticism, or even outright opposition, to the current rules-based international order, an order that was largely shaped by the West. This includes questioning the very international institutions we just talked about, challenging established agreements, and pushing back against Western-led norms on democracy and human rights. Since assuming the presidency, Donald Trump has withdrawn the US from the Paris Climate Agreement and significantly cut US funding to various international organizations. His America First policy openly prioritized perceived US national interests above multilateral cooperation, with a strong belief that the current world order has taken advantage of America. To the shock of his allies, Trump expressed his desire to acquire Greenland and the Panama Canal, whether peacefully or through military means. Then there's Vladimir Putin. He holds a strong conviction that Central Asia and Eastern European countries like Belarus, Poland, Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Georgia fall within Russia's sphere of influence. He believes Russia should have a significant say in their foreign policy and security. We've seen this worldview play out dramatically with the 2008 invasion of Georgia, the 2014 annexation of Crimea, and, of course, the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. And finally, Xi Jinping. Under his leadership, China has asserted its sovereignty aggressively in the South China Sea, often threatening neighbors with military action. She has made it clear that China's reunification with Taiwan is inevitable. Under him, China has rapidly expanded its military, consolidated control over Hong Kong, and pursued assertive diplomacy through its Belt and Road Initiative. Simultaneously, China is actively promoting alternative governance models through organizations like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and directly challenging Western norms. These expansionist ideas, a shared skepticism of existing international norms, and a strong focus on national interest seem to align these three leaders in powerful ways. But despite these apparent convergences, there's a very strong counter-argument that suggests a truly cohesive New World Order, led by Trump, Putin, and Xi is actually quite unlikely to materialize. The inherent contradictions, deep-seated national interests, and even historical rivalries between these powers present formidable obstacles. Firstly, while there might be some tactical alignments and shared grievances against the current liberal order, the competing national interests of the US, Russia, and China are fundamentally profound. Even with Trump's more transactional approach, America's long-term geopolitical interests are vastly different from Russia's ambitions to reclaim past glory, or China's relentless quest for global technological and economic supremacy. A transactional approach from Washington might offer temporary advantages to Beijing or Moscow, but it doesn't dismantle the underlying rivalry for influence, resources, and strategic positioning. For instance, while Russia aims to disrupt NATO, China's main focus is on dominating key, emerging technologies and expanding its influence in the Indo-Pacific, which directly challenges US interests and those of its key allies like Japan and Australia. Their objectives often clash. Secondly, the idea of a genuine China-Russian alliance forming the core of a New World Order, while frequently discussed, faces significant limitations. Yes, both nations share an interest in countering US influence and fostering a multipolar world, but their historical relationship is marked by periods of deep distrust and rivalry, especially in Central Asia and the Arctic. China's sheer economic and demographic might absolutely dwarf Russia's. This creates a partnership where Moscow increasingly risks becoming a junior partner, rather than an equal. China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, while welcomed by Russia in some contexts, also extends Beijing's influence into Russia's traditional spheres, potentially leading to future friction. Furthermore, let's be honest, China's long-term goal is to become the dominant global power. This means it would eventually seek to establish its own sphere of influence, not merely share one with Russia or accommodate American interests. Their current alignment, it seems, is primarily one of convenience, driven by a shared adversary rather than a deep ideological bond or truly complementary long-term visions for global governance. It's a pragmatic partnership, not a truly unified front. So, while Trump, Putin, and Xi each undeniably represent powerful challenges to the existing liberal international order, their ambitions are more aligned in opposition than in a shared vision for what comes next. What we are witnessing might not be the construction of a new world order, but rather a period of significant disorder. This era is marked by competing power centers, highly transactional diplomacy, and an ongoing erosion of consensus on global norms. The liberal order, though frayed and certainly under immense pressure, is not finished. Its institutions, its core values, and its extensive networks, all built over decades, still exert formidable influence. As the world closely watches Trump's evolving policies, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, and China's increasingly assertive global posturing, one thing is abundantly clear: the future of global governance will not be shaped by any single leader or any single ideology. Instead, it will be defined by the ongoing struggle between competing visions of order and, indeed, disorder. What do you think? Is a new world order led by these three figures inevitable, or are their differences too great to overcome? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global affairs. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.